What's up, Hippie fam? It's Mike back at it today, and today I'm going to show you how to bleed any SRAM brakes with the funnel. Let's dive into this. Alright, so you guys may be a little confused as to how you bleed SRAM brakes with the funnel when every single SRAM kit out there has dual syringes and they tell you you need to pressurize the system. Well, that's why I made this video, because that's not true, and I'm going to show you how to do it the easy way. So as you can see here, I am running the SRAM G2 brakes. Right there, it says G2. They came stock on this Jeffsy. I have no issues with them. Besides that, they run dot fluid just like cars. So as you can see here, most SRAM brakes, if not all SRAM brakes, hopefully it's picking it up. It says use .51 or .4 brake fluid. So I was really confused as to why you couldn't use a funnel to bleed these brakes or anything like that. And any video and any forum that you read out there says that you must use the syringes. Well, as a home car mechanic who literally does all of his work, including built this thing and does all its own maintenance, I was very flabbergasted about that comment that SRAM makes. And when you bleed brakes, there's many different ways you could do it. So that led me to do some investigation, and that led me to this. So this is the Easy MTB bleed kit that I got off Amazon. There is a link in the description. Also, I got to make you guys aware that I do receive a commission when you click on that link, and anything you buy for 24 hours, I will get a commission on, and it really helps the channel, so I really do appreciate if you do use my link for this, if you do choose to go with this. So this kit, it states that it's for Magura, AVID, and SRAM, and as if you know, AVID is owned by SRAM. Now, the connector that I need, and for all SRAM users, is going to be this one right there. They even have it in here where you can scan a little QR code on the back in YouTube, but also on the actual Amazon description, it tells you which connector goes to which, and then that's for the lever. Of course, you got to guess when you get to the actual caliper. But it comes with 120 mils of .51 fluid, which is pretty dope. You know, you can get quite a bit of bleeds out of this. Don't know how well it is in comparison to other dot fluids. I'm sure you could just go buy automotive 5.1 from the store and it'll be just as good. Comes with one syringe, comes with a disposal bottle. That's kind of cool. Or if you choose to go the cup route, you can go the cup route. So you do have two different options, but when you actually bleed, you need to use the cup because you have to get all the air bubbles out. So without further ado, let's dive into this. So the first thing that I always recommend doing is marking your lever placement. I can't tell you how many times I've forgotten to do this when I first started working on my own bikes, and it took me forever to get my lever positions back right. So I always recommend getting a paint pen. I do use this paint pen. It is water soluble. So you can see I ended up actually already marking it, but I washed my bike, so it never hurts to do it again. Now it's time to loosen your lever and make sure that it is level, because we are going to be using the cup, so you don't want this dot fluid to just leak all over. And it is a T25. Alright, and now next step is to remove your brake pads, because you don't want to contaminate them, as well as make sure that front wheel is removed, because we're going to need to put in a bleed block that comes with the kit. So you're going to need a 2.5 millimeter Allen key, and we simply, also I didn't want to say, there's a little tiny retaining clip. I don't know if we can get that to focus in or not, but tiny, you know, some people lose them. Just put it on the side if you're worried about it. And now we can go ahead and break this loose. And now we're going to go ahead and remove these from, I think from the bottom. I think you have to. No, you pull them from top. That's easy. And yeah, my brake pads are a year old. They're still Gucci. I would not ride park with them. But I'm going to go put these on the side. Now that we're back here, usually you have to press in the pistons, which what I like to do is just use your standard tire lever, and you're just going to weasel it in there and just push those pistons back in. That's if you can't fit your stuff, but mine seem to be pretty good. See if we can get that block in there. Dreams. Got my little bar screwy thing back in there, and we insert that and just finger tight it. You don't want to tighten it down like got brake pads in there, because you're just going to remove this. This is just so when we do the lever bleed after, we're good. Alright, so that's all good to go. Alright, so now it's time to get into the nitty gritty of things. So the kit does come with a Torx bit right here for the lever and the actual caliper. Now, I did flip the bike around, so we're looking at the opposite side of the caliper, where, as you can see, there's two big T25s that actually hold the SRAM G2 caliper together. This is the bleed port. And this isn't that new bleed port that they talk about. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's actually pretty fancy. You just like remove a little rubber thing instead of the screw, and then you just push it in. Pretty dope quick connector. But you're going to go ahead and we're going to remove this, and then we're going to start draining the oil from it. So I did get a couple drops on the ground. Not too worried, I'll clean it up. But you do want to have a container underneath there, because like I said, dot fluid is corrosive and you just don't want that stuff just laying all around. And we're going to need to find the proper fitting for this, because we're going to need to attach this waste bucket, because I'm actually draining all the fluid out. Oh, that went in there. Oh. And it looks like that's it. What you're going to do is you're going to take this hose, stick it right in there all the way to the bottom, and this has got a little hook on it. So you just hang that right there, and we're going to go ahead. That did not work out, but you get the concept. You get this little hook thing here. Maybe I need the shorter one or something. Actually, we're going to hang that right there. Reality is gravity would take effect, so you really want it lower. But I wonder if I can get that down to the floor. And now we're going to go up to the top of the caliper, and we're going to go ahead and release that, and we should see all the fluid come down. So I'm actually just gonna let gravity do its thing and just flick the line. But this is the front brake line, so there really shouldn't be that much. But it looks like that is all gone. I'm gonna go ahead and hang this up, and then we are going to put the nut back up top, because we are going to hook a syringe to the bottom to force fluid up. Alright, so now that we're up top, we're gonna find the proper fitting so we can attach the funnel. So I've got my funnel set here, and as you can see, we've got the ones that actually go to rubber housing, and then we've got the ones that go to the actual funnel. So the ones that look like this, the funnel sits right in there. So I'm going to find the proper one. It said that this one was it on the instructions. And that's definitely not it. So that's not it. This one should be it. And there we go. You want that finger tight, because these are plastic. Don't know how long these are going to last. And now we're going to just sit like this. And then we attach our plunger so no more fluid comes out. Now we're good to go back down to the caliper. All right, so now it's time to fill up your syringe with dot fluid. I recommend putting about half in for the front so you get some leeway, because you are forcing the fluid all the way up into the reservoir up top. And you want to make sure that that plunger that you had in your funnel is out, because now is the time to screw this in and to force fluid up. All right, so now that that is attached, we're gonna make sure that there's no air bubbles. What I have to do is like to tilt it like this to make sure any air that may be left in there after you squeeze all the air out is up top and you're not pushing it through your system. So now it's time to release this little clip right here. And then we'll slowly push it up until you see air bubbles coming up the top. All right, so now that we have a little bit of fluid up top, I really should have filled up the whole syringe, but we're gonna add more dot fluid to the reservoir. And now we're gonna go back down to the caliper. Now that we're down back at the caliper, and we're going to re-release this valve. And now we're gonna pull. And then you should start seeing bubbles coming out. All right, you should do that about 10 to 15 times until you see no bubbles. All right, so I officially have no more bubbles coming out. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this and I'm gonna go put this up in the funnel. All right, so now it's time to uninstall the syringe, and then we're going to replace our bolt right in there. So we're gonna go ahead and do this ever so carefully. Make sure that we are not, we gotta make sure our syringe closed. So first things first, make sure that syringe is closed. And it's okay, a few drops are expected to come out. So if you start seeing a few drops come out, don't fret. Now we're going to go grab some isopropyl alcohol and we're going to clean that off. Alright, so now that we're back up at the lever, it's time to bleed your lever. So what we're going to do, remove the little plunger thing, you put it to the side, and now what we're going to do is we're going to start actuating the lever. And now make sure there's no bubbles, and I can tell already that this is so firm. This didn't feel like this for months on end. This is like a new brake. This is beautiful. Alright, and you want to flick, make sure, just like Shimano brakes, flick it. Make sure anything that might have been in the caliper is going to come up. But I'm not seeing anything. It seems to be that everything is good on the front brake. So I'm going to put my plunger right back in here. And then I'm going to grab a shop towel or any rag you got laying around. And we're going to carefully remove this. And also make sure you have your isopropyl alcohol ready, because you don't want to ruin your brake lever, because I told you it's very corrosive. This is quick release, so hopefully this won't spill. I've never used this exact funnel before. I've used Shimano ones, but not this one. So I'm going to release this. Okay, good, good, good. Put this over here, and I'm going to drain my fluid. All right, now there is going to be fluid over here, so you do have to be diligent with this. Perfect. Not going anywhere. Now we're going to take our screw and we're going to reinstall this right where it goes, making sure no dot fluid gets all over the place during the install. Wipe that off. Grab some isopropyl. Make sure no dot fluid left over on there. Also, a thing about this bolt, you want to make sure that it's only finger tight. Like, you only want to be able to do that. So there you go. It's good. Now, let's go ahead and see if we got the same firmness. Seems like everything is okay. So once you put the bolt back onto your lever, you're going to go reinstall your brake pads as you would. Make sure you put that C-clip back on the pin, and then you're going to reinstall your front wheels, and you're going to actuate your brake a couple times, such as so. And now, the first 2 times you pump that lever, it's going to go to the handlebars, because what's happening is your pads are making contact with the rotor. Once those 2 lever pulls are completed, it is a dream. My front brake is absolutely better than when I got my GFC out of the box. So I'm pretty stoked. You're gonna repeat the same process with the rear brake, but you're just gonna use a lot more dot fluid for the rear because the cable is a lot longer. If you guys really enjoyed my content and you learned something from this, please like and subscribe, and please support the channel. As you can see, I made some upgrades to the shop, and we got ourselves a banner right here. It's pretty stoked, man. I'm so stoked. I'm branded now. You know, let's go ahead. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm here to make sure that you guys and girls are self-sufficient and know how to work on your own bikes. No, I'm not saying don't support your local bike shop, but I'm all about being self-sufficient, and I want to teach the world how to be self-sufficient. So please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace. Bartender can